I feel very fortunate because not only I'm not just half Japanese, I truly identify with that, and I like to participate in the cultural aspect of it as well. So I think I just naturally think about things a little bit differently and kind of process information a little bit differently too. So even when it came to like the name of the salon, just like as a musician, I'm sure, and a composer, you understand like how things resonate and just how they sound, and that was just very appealing to me. And I don't know, keeping up with the trends over there as well, but also Iki to us means celebrating imperfections. So to someone that may think like they don't like something about their hair, it's really truly my goal to make things so easy and making it intentional instead of this thing that gets on your nerves, so that you can just embrace it and not feel like you have to fight this thing that's a part of you.
Yeah, so that's like a wabi-sabi thing.
Yeah.
Like this embracing imperfection and impermanence, and of course, like a transience. Like we are constantly growing, or I guess more technically, wabi-sabi, which is an interest of mine. I guess I should say. It's more about everything is in a state of becoming something or decaying. So I think about this a lot in my music, and I'm the kind of the same way. I found myself like, people would play my music and maybe it wasn't so perfect. It wasn't like they 100% nailed every note, every rhythm, everything about the sheet music and the performance. And I found I actually preferred that. That was a very attractive thing to me. So do you know about wabi sabi?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
So it's funny because my dear friend had originally suggested that to be the name of the salon.
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, I feel like most people are going to confuse it with wasabi, and we're not a Japanese restaurant. So I immediately kind of like put the kibosh on that.
Yeah.
But conceptually speaking, I definitely really, really loved it. So when I dug a little bit deeper, Iki was kind of like similar but different. So we were able to kind of really have a lot of overlap with Wabi Sabi and Iki, and the fact that, for example, our sign outside is just this super rusty patinaed piece of metal that was found on my in-laws' property. And I just love the character of it. And to me, so many people can look at it and be like, oh my God, it's just old and shitty. But to me, it's just like it has so much character and it just has so much beauty to it. And like to see how nature affects things and time, and I just really love that aspect of it.
I appreciate you applying that to like beauty standards, because I'm sure that's a can of worms that I'm actually not qualified to speak about. But if you want to, you can go for it. But yeah, I think everyone's so obsessed with like perfection, and so I think it's really a breath of fresh air that you are trying to embrace the imperfection. You're trying to enable people to embrace that themselves.
Right. I think standards, like you're talking about, it's just like it's just perfection is not possible. Like it's not real. So for us to be chasing it, it's just such an exhausting process. And for me to have just that little bit of an effect on the world and people individually to be like, it's okay, and we can learn to like these things that make you different and make you special, is definitely one of my top priorities.
That's great. That's awesome. You had mentioned keeping up with trends in Japan. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because as someone who is a client of yours, I think what you do is completely different than what I have experienced in American salons and barbershops.
So for me, when you're talking about trends being different, it comes back to the people. And if I think about the people as a canvas, people are built very differently in Japan compared to America. So the things that you design around that canvas that's already so different becomes a very different thing as well. So not only the texture of the hair and like the shape of the face and the structure, it's really, really cool to see things designed so differently. And I just love that they do have such a different approach, and like, not that we don't pay attention to details over here, but to me, it's just like a whole nother level of, I think, just really caring about every single aspect of the service. And also, as far as the finished product goes, really catering to that individual and making sure that nothing is left out of place.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Micromaker by Loose Leaf Transmissions. We hope you enjoyed this brief glimpse into the inner workings of the creative life. If this resonated with you, be sure to check out the full conversation on Music Maker with Tyler Kline, a podcast exploring craft and process, philosophy and inspiration, and the honest, often messy parts of being an artist, creative uncertainty, purpose and identity, and resilience. You can find Music Maker wherever you get your podcasts or by visiting musicmakerpodcast.com.